So what is putting out those billowing, pillowy clouds of vapor, you ask? The new 100-watt mod by eLeaf, I answer. So stay tuned, we're going to take a look at that next on Indoor Smokers. That's right, guys. eLeaf, who has always been known for just having tiny little mods, is now going to be known for power as well with their first 100-watt mod. So I have to say, I've only been vaping on this thing about a week, and I can already say definitively that this is my favorite 100-watt mod I've ever used. Sorry, Sigeli. But it's not just the ease of functionality and the other things which we'll talk about in a minute, but also just the design of the unit itself. Rather than just being a big clunky square box mod, this one actually has a little bit of shape to it. It feels nice in the hand. You've got the rounded edges. Loving it. And then another feature that I love that a lot of the new box mods now are using are the magnetic removable hatch for the battery compartment. You will need to get two 18650 batteries for this. I've got the Aspires that work great. They're in there right now. But you don't necessarily need a battery charger because it does have the USB port right there. And that will allow you to not only charge the batteries in the unit, but it will also allow you to use it as a pass-through while it's charging. Awesome. The only thing I would say I don't like about the design is that it seems like this should be the front, and yet this is the way I would hold it because this is my trigger right there, and it does kind of seem like this is the natural front when I'm holding it like this. And you got your battery compartment. So I don't know. I would almost like to see them switch it so that you had your battery compartment on the back side, but I guess it all depends on how you're holding your unit. That's what she said. Alright, we'll get into the functionalities and I'll show you guys the screen in just a second, but this thing got me so hooked, I'm going to go ahead and take another vape on it. I am using the new Triton tank by Aspire with the 0.4 resistance coils, and that's some black cherry berry I got in there. God damn, I gotta say, 0.4 resistance and 100 watts of vaping never tasted so good. So I'm vaping this thing right now at 45 watts. You can see right here, it is reading it as about a 0.39 resistance. And we are vaping at, what is that? 4.1 volts right now. So I'm getting an incredible vape out of this, not too hot. It's just coming out real nice and mild. It's not hitting my throat too hard at all. I have to say all around it's about a perfect vape. Now this is a high VG juice, but I haven't had any problems vaping at 45 watts. I would say you could take this thing all the way up to 60, no problem. The juice holes and airflow are so big on this. I think you'd be able to handle it, but I'll go ahead and turn it up to that myself and we can find out real quick here. I'll go ahead and take one more vape off of this and then we'll back it up. I'll do the unboxing and we'll take a look at a fresh unit and what you're gonna get, all of its contents if you order one yourself. We'll check that out right after this. Right on time. So this is the new eLeaf iStick 100 watt mod. This is the one in black. You guys have seen the one in silver. This is what your top compartment is going to come like, just the unit itself. And like I said, it seems like the front facing piece is the one with the battery compartment on there. Just seems a little counterintuitive to me. But we'll take off that first layer. As you can see, you've got a battery charger, which is going to be your micro USB. Plus you've got your 510 to Ego threaded adapter right there. So you can use your mini tanks and things on it. And then of course we've got a nice little instruction book. And then as you can see, you've got your 510 threading, and that is a spring-loaded connector pin on there. So you shouldn't have any problem connecting on almost any tanks. So if you guys want a comparison of the look, bam. Personally, I gotta say, I think I like the silver a little better. This silver is the kind of matted finish, so it doesn't collect fingerprints very bad, and yet still has a little bit of a shine to it. All vapors can shine, boy. Can't you read my thoughts? And then strangely enough, I have not been able to find what the lowest resistance this can read, but this is not a temperature control device, so keep that in mind. You're not going to use nickel coils or titanium on this thing. But I would imagine it should be able to read at least all the way down to 0.2 regular sub-ohm coils. It's vaping on this no problem. Let you guys check out the screen. So as you can see, it is reading it as about a 0.38, which is very close to the 0.4. And we're doing 4.1 volts to get that 45 watts right now. So the unit can adjust from 5 to 100 watts in 0.1. And of course it has the speed up function if you hold it down. And then it doesn't wrap around, so you're gonna have to go back down again from the top. So just 3 very simple and intuitive buttons on here, nothing much to explain. If you want to switch it from wattage to voltage mode, you just press the button 3 times. And now as you can see, you're adjusting voltage rather than wattage. So now you'll be able to adjust from 2 volts up to 10 volts. Now if you hit the button 5 times to turn the unit off, and then you hold your plus and minus buttons, that will actually reset your screen direction for your left-handed vapors. Or we can turn that back right side up again. So I think that's about it for the functionality. Very simple, intuitive device. This would be a great 100-watt mod for somebody who isn't that experienced with high wattage devices or sub-ohm vaping. You can't really go wrong with this one. It's got all your protection features you would need or expect. Now the only thing that stands out about this e-leaf from the others really is the size. I'll compare it to a 50 watt to give you guys a little bit of a comparison between this and the 50 watt. So not twice as big for being 100 watt, so not too bad, but it's definitely a little bit larger. You probably are looking at something closer to like an MVP or an MVP Pro on size, although like I said, I do like the rounded edges much better than the square as far as comfort in your hand. Now the absolute best thing about this may be the price range. I heard this is going to go for under 50 bucks on most sites, so that's just incredible, considering I think that the 50 watt was about that price range. It is also a little bit heavier. Of course, you got two 18650 batteries in here, but it feels a little more solid. I do like the feel of this. I think they use a little bit of a higher quality build material on this one. So I guess there's nothing really left to do except vape this thing. So you guys saw me vaping it at 45 watts. I told you I think it should be able to vape all the way up to 60, no problem, on this 0.4 resistance coil. So why don't we just go ahead? I'll pop it up to 50. And then I'll give you one at 55 and 60, see what this thing can really do. Very impressive that you can get that much vapor and that you're not sacrificing flavor. All right, 55 watts, you guys. Here we go. All right, so 60 watts, that 0.38 resistance coil is pushing 4.8 volts, so this ought to really do something. Let's see. Man, that is just probably about as hot as I want to get this thing, but still, it's amazing how short of a vape you have to take to get a full lung full of vapor. So for me, the point of turning it up isn't so much that you can just get bigger and bigger clouds, but you can take shorter and shorter vapes and still get as much of a vapor cloud as you're going to get on a lower wattage with a longer vape. Got it back at 42.5 now. Definitely nothing wrong with that. I'm vaping myself out here. So I gotta say, quite amazed. I always like the e-leaf products. They're always new and innovative, but this one I really think they outdid themselves. For a 100 watt mod at this price range with the features and the simplicity of this one, I really don't think anyone's gonna be complaining. So for anybody who's been looking to move up to a high wattage device and you're not into the temperature control stuff yet, I really think this is going to be the best option right now on the market. And I will mention that they did say that they had an improved ventilation system on this so that the unit would not get as hot as the e-leaf 50 watts did. And based on some of the stories I've heard, that's a good thing. But I've not felt any kind of temperature heat up on this. You guys have seen how much I've been vaping it in this video alone. And the unit itself is not at all even warm to the touch. Alright Vapestas, I'll put a link down in the crotch box where you guys can check out the new e-leaf 100 watt for yourself. I highly recommend it for anyone who's in the market for a new high wattage mod at this point. And that new Triton tank ain't bad either. I'll put a link down there for that as well as the e-juice. Alright you guys, have a great rest of your day.
And don't forget to subscribe to Indoor Smokers. Come on, well, what else have you got to do? Seriously.
Surprise giveaway time! Well, you guys knew I couldn't tell you all those good things about this new 100 watt mod by e-leaf and not let you get a chance to get one yourself. So, all you have to do is guess the number between 1 and 5,000, put it down in the comment section, like, share this video, and you will be automatically entered to win.